everybody want to be an entrepreneur, but everybody ain't built to be
At
an
all.
entrepreneur
At all.
at all.
Yeah. There's a
They
certain aptitude.
right.
There's a certain
it's,
character. There's so
it's
many things
it's so funny.
that go
People,
into that.
yeah, it's so funny. People like, man, I can't wait till I get out of my job and I ain't got to work this 9 to 5 no more, and I could just do what I want to do and be an entrepreneur. Where I ain't got to work all them hours.
You're gonna work them hours and
And
some.
more. You gonna work them hours twice.
Yeah.
Like I don't
If
understand
you're
why.
lucky, only twice.
But people don't have the capacity to be an entrepreneur. So stop it. Some of you need to actually work at jobs.
Say that part out
You
loud.
need to work at
Some of you need
jobs.
to
You're
work
good
at
at a job. It's good
Happy
to be
New Year,
back.
man. Happy New Year.
It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? We took a little break and now we back. Now that's the thing at the end of the year, right? Of 2025, you got Christmas, New Year.
No, starts with Thanksgiving,
Oh,
really.
yeah, well,
Yeah, it starts there. Schedules get weird. People
family.
traveling, family coming into town.
That's right.
That starts with Thanksgiving.
So you probably only get like one or two episodes in, and then once the holidays hit, especially Christmas and New Year's, we was on a 3-week break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in terms of staying like, current with what's happening, what's trending. But I don't know that it's been so much going on,
so much.
non-music related, that the music stuff, I think to some extent has kind of been overshadowed
hmm
by all of the other world events.
World events.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the
But then too, you got to think a lot of the music stuff kind of also winds down during the holiday season.
mm, right.
Labels go home for a weekend or two.
Maybe
Um,
they do. Yeah.
yeah, even some of the offices close
hmm
for the holidays.
So that around that time, everything winds down. But drama don't.
Man, yeah. So as long as social media,
As long as social media is around,
it's gonna be something.
always going to be something. So, man, but since we've been on a break and now we coming back, there's been so much. And as I was researching topics and getting ready for the show, I was like, yo, there's a bunch of things that's going on. So you're gonna probably see there's a ton of stuff that's in the Google. That's how we communicate in this Google Doc.
Yeah, I see
Um,
it. I see it.
But one of the first things I saw was about Salt-N-Pepa. We had been
Yes.
talking about Salt-N-Pepa, not Salt-N-Pepa.
Yeah, I heard the guy say pepper. I was like, ugh.
That's because
Oh no.
never mind. that's because
yeah.
never mind.
It
But
literally had no seasoning on
it
it.
had no seasoning.
Pepper.
Right now, Salt-N-Pepa.
Pepper. ER is crazy.
Got the hard R in it.
Yeah, the hard R was crazy.
But Salt-N-Pepa, they lost, which I'm not surprised by it, right? So in case y'all don't know, let me give it to you what it is, right? So a federal judge has dismissed Salt-N-Pepa's lawsuit against UMG, in which the legendary hip-hop duo sought to reclaim ownership of their master recordings under the U.S. copyright termination laws. The court ruled that the recordings were works made for hire, meaning the label, not the artist, legally owns the masters. And we talked about that at length.
Mm-hmm.
While Salt-N-Pepa remains cultural icons, this decision underscores a harsh industry reality. Even historic artists can lose control of their most valuable asset decades later due to how contracts were written and classified. Well, yeah, we'll get into that. Right, so the case reignites long-running debates about artist ownership, work for hire clauses, and whether copyright termination laws truly protect creatives, especially Black artists who sign early deals with little leverage or legal guidance. But we have been, at least I've been saying they won't get this.
When we talked about it when it initially happened, we did some digging. We was on the Googles.
Yep.
And
we was on the Googles.
Yeah, we was on the Googles, and the Googles ended up telling us
that's right
who actually owned the copyrights or who was credited as writers
Mm-hmm.
and producers, and neither Salt nor Pepper were
Were
credited.
That's
So
because they had to work for
yes, and then we discovered the
we even
whole work
said
for
that.
hire thing.
We even
Yeah,
said that
yeah,
in the thing. It was a work for hire.
yes. Which
So
means that they didn't. Um, they Salt and Pepper did not sign to Universal.
that's right.
Herbie Lovebug, who
That's
was their
right.
manager, he
That's right.
signed a deal and they were signed under the deal. So they were work for hire. They worked for Herbie. He had the deal, which means what? That means that publishing goes back to
Herbie.
Herbie, which theoretically he's probably already been receiving royalties
Back,
from it anyway.
I'm sure.
I don't know if they just don't have a relationship with him anymore. So they weren't aware that for them to go to the label says to me, this is what was my initial thought was, says to me that they didn't know that they didn't have writer's credit, or didn't know
Mm,
that the rights don't just revert back to the artist, it reverts to who holds the credit,
that's
who
right.
was credited
Who has the
on the
masters,
work.
right? Who has them?
Not even necessarily who
Well, not
has the
necessarily
masters, who's
masters.
credited on the work.
That's right.
You can
And Herb.
that's actually what's the term that they use? It's can't think of the exact term, but it's basically reclaiming the masters. You can say, okay, I'm credited on this work,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm taking back full ownership of my share
Mm-hmm.
of the work. It's in its entirety, not just the publishing, but also on the mechanical side, and also on the master
Masters.
itself.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But when your name's not on it at all, I don't even. I think I said to you when we were talking in the thread, like, I can't believe a lawyer actually took that case before a judge. I mean, if
yes,
it's so clear
yes.
cut that there was no way that they were entitled to anything that had to do with the catalog, because they were signed to
Mm-hmm.
Herbie. They were not signed to the label. The
That's right.
label owes them nothing. They owe all of that to
To
Herbie.
Herbie.
And so they really should have been pressing Herbie
Herbie.
to get Herbie to give them some of what he was entitled
Mm-hmm.
to.
That's
And
right.
I've heard very little about him even mentioned in
Mentioning
this
anything.
entire scenario.
Herbie's like, hey, I'm eating. I'm
Yeah, he's
good.
just collecting his checks.
But how often do we hear about these situations with artists signing deals? And we talked about it. Artists signing deals to management companies who have deals with the record labels, right? So Salt and Pepper, the new, of course, New Edition. Um, I'm like, how many? How many? And I don't
Yeah,
know how many
it's
others.
not
About
just artists alone. It is a normal practice in the entertainment or in the music community to sign deals secondhand.
mhm,
So, for example, you sign to a manager, then that manager signs to the
to the
label,
label.
or you sign to a manager, then that manager goes and finds you a
Mhm,
publishing deal as a writer.
mhm,
And so you are signed to the manager, and the manager has a deal with the publisher, but the publisher is only doing
mhm.
business with the manager because of your contribution to that management
Yeah,
agreement.
they don't have any responsibility to you as an artist. It's between the manager and the organization
And
and
the
the company,
organization, yeah.
not necessarily between you, the artist, and the label. Like,
Yes.
and that's why I love the scene with Gerald Busby when Tank played it in the New Edition story,
Uh-huh.
because it was true. He was like, "Yo, little dude, I don't have to answer to you. Period."
Yeah.
He's like, "Your deal is with
Yes.
your manager dude,
Yes.
right? Go back and talk to him." But he was
Yes.
like, "Let me school you though. You really want to know? Boom." But that's the reality for a lot of people. That's
Yes.
like
I
that's
know people living right now
yeah.
where I know songwriters who signed deals to management. They gave the managers 50% of their publishing.
Phew.
Then the managers went and got them publishing deals with larger publishing
Mhm.
houses. And then guess what those publishing companies want? They want 50% also.
That's right.
So
But
now,
and where's that 50% coming from?
and that 50% is basically coming from your
It ain't coming from the
50%.
managers.
No,
It's
no.
coming from
It comes
yours.
from
That's
yours.
right.
And so now your 50 is worth
25.
25.
And while you paying out 75%, you only getting 25%. But even in that 25%, I mean, who else do you got to pay?
Well, the issue
Right?
becomes that's 25% of 100% of a record. And more times than not, you have collaborators
That's
on the
right.
record. So you're not even getting 100% of your contribution,
That's
which
right.
is only 25% anyway. So if there's four other writers on there,
You're getting 12.1%,
you-
9.8%. That's crazy work.
but
That's crazy
But
work.
even in that respect, at least you're getting something from a writer's perspective. When you're an artist and you sign a work for hire type deal like Salt-N-Pepa did, you're not even entitled to that
And
because they didn't
and that's
write the
the issue.
songs. Herbie wrote the
That's
songs.
right. That's
You got
right.
I mean, nowadays most artists know that. Obviously, a la Beyonce, and she doesn't care whether she wrote it or not. She's
Mhm.
taking the writer's credit for it. So
Facts.
most artists know that, but if you're just out here like, oh yeah, these are great songs, and you singing your heart out as an artist, and you don't have any credit on these songs, you leave yourself with no way to make
Mhm.
residual income off of what you've done. And even if you get into a scenario where there are rights that can be reverted back to you, they wouldn't be because you
You don't
haven't
own.
contributed or negotiated a contributor's share.
They just said, "Come in, go into the booth, record this, and then we'll take care of everything else." Right? We got
Yep.
everything else. Just
Yep.
go in and record it. But that used to be the structure for musicians, right? So you had
Mhm.
work for hire. Hey, I
Yes.
need you to come in and play this.
Yep.
I need you to come in and do this. And musicians had to work for hire because they weren't getting paid royalties.
Right.
They weren't getting paid publishing. It was just, hey, come in and do. How much do you charge? 500. Boom, here's your 500.
Yep. That's it.
And then you'll
We
you
might put your name in
name
the
on it.
credits,
Exactly. It was
but no points,
no
no
points, no
percentages,
nothing.
no royalty, no nothing.
No
You
nothing.
could say you were on it, but
That's right.
that's about it.
And that is the situation with Salt-N-Pepa. And they are going to appeal, right? Because they're like, we don't agree
I don't understand. I don't know.
with the judge. But
I
I
don't
don't
even know why
understand
you would even appeal. Just who's paying for their legal fees?
someone. It
Because
ain't her.
they
We know it ain't Herbie.
because they're just running up a check, and I'm sure the lawyers are perfectly fine with that.
Of
Oh, you want to
course.
fight it? Sure, I'll go ahead
Sure.
and file that motion for you.
Right.
Just make sure that 16,000 hits my account, and I'll go ahead and do that for you. But it doesn't make any
It
sense. You're
doesn't.
not.
And it doesn't make sense because you're not the actual owner of the work that was done, which is why it's important. And I get it, right? Maybe I don't because I have not been in that situation where I was young and and I was offered a contractual deal
Right.
and I was in the hood. Now that part's true, right? But living in the hood,
Trying to get out the
trying to
hood.
get out the
This is my
ghetto,
way.
right? And this is my
Yeah.
way to get out, take
Yep.
care of moms, buy her a house,
Right.
and they're giving me this deal, and we're not really reading papers. We ain't really
Or
reading
I
contracts.
think the key becomes, and this still is true to this day, and that's why I tell people don't chat GPT contracts, but you you can read the contract and understand what's in it. But sometimes the details are
Mhm.
more about what's not in it, which is how you recoup
Mhm.
or how you profit from or how you are credited or those are the things that you may be reading what's there but what's not there in the contract.
And that's why it's important to have at least someone who's well versed in music industry, no,
Specifically, it's got
it's
to be
very specific.
entertainment law
Entertainment
because
law.
there's nuance to these
That's right.
contracts, and that's the difference. You know, you might look at a contract and it's got a sunset clause,
Mhm.
and then the question
Yeah, y'all don't know
becomes,
what that is?
right? So the sunset clause
Wow.
being, let's say you have a manager, you and the manager fall out, but the manager says, well, we're
Mhm.
going to put the sunset clause in the contract, which means that even for the next year after we have parted ways, I'm still going to receive a certain
That's right.
percentage of any monies that you are entitled to as the artist.
That's
So
right.
whether that's from a performance, whether that's from royalties, whether that's from endorsements, while I was your manager, those things took
That's
place.
right.
So I'm still entitled
To
to a
monies.
percent,
That's right. I'm still
right?
entitled to monies to be received from those. And that's the thing,
Yes.
like they put these little phrases and clauses in, and a lot of people don't really know what it is. And sometimes people don't even want to question what it
Right.
is because if I question it, then they may take the deal away. And
Yeah.
this is a deal that I need to be able to buy, get me out the hood, get us out the hood,
Yeah.
get moms a car, whatever the case. But if I know if I question it, they may say, well, you know what, never mind. And I may pass up my only chance at stardom if I try to prod and dig into
Mhm.
what some of these terminologies are within the contract. But today we have no excuse. Back then, they probably did. But today you have no excuse. You can go out and read about sunset clauses and you
Yeah.
could out
They
and
didn't have
read.
the Googles
You didn't have it.
back
You
then
didn't have
to
the
at least
Googles. You didn't have it, right?
to do two things, both one, educate yourself, and then two, find proper representation. It was much harder to do with the yellow pages
Yeah,
and the white
and
pages,
there's lawyers
which most
galore
people
now.
don't even know what the yellow pages and white pages are, but
Bro, if you
were a real
that's true.
thing.
I would say, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, but lawyers are in plethora today. You can find them all over the place,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate in two ways. It's one, unfortunate because there wasn't the foresight to kind of get out in front of that back
mhm,
when it was happening, and I get that. Like you said, times has changed. The other
right.
unfortunate piece is they're trying to Salt and Pepper are attempting to force a round peg into a square hole
Mhm.
because they have no legal leg to stand on, and they just keep on banging pause. They keep they keep
What was that a pause?
trying to it
Oh
was
no,
the hand
that
motion
was
and saying banging. It was it was
you were
wild.
talking about salt and pepper.
Yeah. So they're trying to force a narrative that does not fit this case. They're
I,
asking to receive something that never belonged to them at
and
any point.
that's what I'm trying to figure out how they figure they have that leg to stand on.
I don't
You
know
don't own anything
at
in
all.
regards to
Never
it.
did. There's no piece
Never
of paper
did.
that says that you
That
ever did.
you know,
And I don't know. Maybe they're calling Herbie, and he's just going, "Yo, that's
that's
crazy."
crazy. I don't know why. I don't know
That's what they
why.
telling her. They
That's
saying
crazy.
you getting all the money. Yo, that's crazy. That's what they said.
That's what
Like
they
I don't
said.
know why they would continue to pursue this, or who is
Who's in their ear
the
saying y'all need
legal
to?
representation that is taking their money like this.
But it's somebody.
Or maybe they're not taking their money. Let me slow
No,
down
no,
on
no.
that.
Somebody
Maybe
taking the
it's a
money.
scenario where there's, well, probably so because it's Salt and Pepper.
You gotta.
But I
You
was gonna
gotta.
say there are lawyers out there that say they only get paid if they win. Those lawyers still do exist.
But that's not the high profile lawyers though.
No, it's probably not their lawyer.
that's
It's probably not. Yeah.
that's not the billboard lawyer
Yeah.
we see around here in
Right.
the city, right?
Yeah.
But we know that if they got a lawyer and they're in court and they are trying to fight this battle, I just don't know what leg they got to stand on. I don't know how they're presenting the contractual the agreement to
Yeah.
the judge to say, look at this in here. It says we own stuff when it clearly doesn't.
Doesn't.
I don't get it. But I'm interested to see where the story goes, ladies and gentlemen. So, but the most important thing that's here, there's a couple lessons in here. Number one, you gotta fight for your right
To
as an
party.
artist, right?
Yeah.
Know what you're signing, know what it means, get an entertainment attorney that's well versed, Don't get an entertainment attorney that's tied to the company.
Right.
That's a bad thing
Yeah.
because their
Conflict of interest.
interest is only for the company, right? But do find an entertainment attorney that's going to do right by you and have them read over the contract. It's going to cost. Maybe you find somebody who will say, you know what, pro bono, I'll go through it and give you my feedback. I know a couple people who will do that. Most probably won't, but they may not charge you a huge fee to do it. But I would still say pay somebody to go through it. I remember there was a contract when I dropped my album back in 2017. This is wow, so long ago. There, a company by the name, gosh, that's the name. I'm gonna say it anyway. Whatever. Yeah, it is what it is, right? But it was a company named Radio Pushers. I don't know if you've heard of this company, right? They
Yeah,
get
I
you,
have.
yeah, they get you. Sorry, Desiree, but they get your they get your music on different radio stations,
Yep.
and so they had. I was in talks with them about getting the album placed on certain radio station, and they were like, "Cool." They were like, "Bet we can do this." Blah blah blah. They sent me over the contract. I sent it over to my lawyer back in St. Louis. Eric called me back and he was like, "Yo, do not sign that."
Mm,
I was like, he's an entertainment attorney. I was like, why? He went through the thing. He was like, it's not gonna be a good look for you if you do this. The amount of money you're gonna have to pay, the coverage that is given, blah, blah, blah. He was like, it's gonna be in your best interest to
mm.
not do this. And I didn't.
That's the value of a lawyer.
Gotta have an entertainment attorney look at your
Yes.
stuff. But I'm interested to see where this goes because yeah, they gotta
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see if it goes
Yeah.
anywhere.
Anywhere. I don't know what the appeal, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be watching that the
It's
appeal
insane.
process, see what happens. Did you and it's been all over social media. Suno changed up their rights and ownership section of their agreement.
Yes.
This is crazy. But we've been warning y'all. We've been saying it, right? I know Brian ain't here, but Brian be like, well, we've been saying this about
Brian in love with it.
AI,
He love
right?
it. He love him some AI.
So, in case y'all don't know, Suno's newly updated rights and ownership section reveals a critical shift in how AI generated music is treated. And it's a wake up call for all creators who like to use that platform for your own music creation. And because this came on the heel of the whole Warner Suno deal that they have. While Suno still promotes commercial use license for paid subscribers, the platform now makes something very clear. Commercial rights do not equal copyright ownership.
Right.
And they had said that it did in the past, but now they changed it and it does not. So, under the updated terms, songs created on free plans cannot be monetized at all. Period.
Right.
Point blank. And upgrading later does not grant retroactive rights, except in rare discretionary cases, which I'm assuming is up to Suno to decide what that is going to be.
Right. Which it would be equivalent to some song that's just blowing up on like SoundCloud or
Right.
YouTube or something. And then Suno decides, you know what, we need to make money off of this.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and grant you this.
That's right.
So then you can go ahead and sign to us, and then we'll take a percentage of
We go
yours.
That's right. That's right. Even more importantly, songs created while subscribed may be monetized however you wish, including streaming, downloads, and sync. But Suno states that users generally do not own the songs because the output is generated by Suno's system. We have been saying this. Suno's system. In other words, artists may be licensed to exploit AI generated tracks commercially, yet the platform retains legal ownership of the output. We have been saying this stuff about Suno and who really owns the AI generated music. Yeah, you could be like, well, I put my own stuff in it. Well, who really owns it? Do you own a part and does Suno own a part? Or does Suno own the whole thing now? Even if
Yeah.
you put your own music in it, it's like, well, you generated this song with our system,
Yeah. It's kind of like
so we own part of it.
it's when I think about it, it's kind of like you're an artist, you go into the studio and you create a song. You're signed to a label, and the label facilitated the studio session. They set it up. They
Mhm.
brought in the engineer. You're in their building.
Mhm.
You're under agreement or contract with that label, right? So then who owns the masters? The
The
label owns the
label.
masters,
The
right?
label.
The label owns the masters.
That's
They
right.
have in essence through executive producing the scenario and the contractual agreement. So when you sign up for Suno and you click terms of agreement terms, then
That's
you
right.
have just signed to the label. And so you can say what you put in, but what you got out, the same way a master would be from a studio, what came out was facilitated
That's right.
by Suno. So
That's right.
they would have the ability to copyright
Mm,
the
mm, mm,
master.
mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm.
Which
And
I mean, I don't know what they intend to do with it. I would think nothing, but I don't know. Are they
well,
saying that you can recoup um royalties, publishing, and mechanics, but only they will recoup the masters?
that's a great question because it says that you can monetize it.
Yeah, you can monetize it. So if you put it on Spotify, you make
You
your
make your little
you
chump
make your
change from
mechanical money off of
your chump change.
off of the DSPs, right?
Right.
And then if you were a writer on it or the writer of it,
Mhm.
you alleged to be, most of these people are not even writing stuff, but whatever, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. If you allege to have written it, then you can be paid out your publishing, whether that's through your own publishing
Mhm.
LLC or whether that's through the MLC, right? And then you can register the song with your PRO and receive the performance royalty. So there's four types of
Mhm.
royalty, but three of them you could receive just based on the work that came out
Yeah,
that you loaded on DSPs. But then let's say, for example, I don't know, Sound Exchange, if the song gets played on the radio, the master
Mhm.
portion of the compensation would go to
Go to
Suno.
Suno.
Is that what we
I'm
saying?
assuming it goes to Suno. That is a
I don't know how
that's a
that
crazy
works.
thing. I haven't gone through. I usually like going through terms. I don't know why it's a
Yeah,
nerdy thing, and just seeing what's in there
yeah,
because that will tell you everything that happens, right? But the big part of this, and that's once again, that's probably stuff in there that they're not saying,
mhm,
But what they are saying definitely is that you don't own it.
yeah,
If it is the output from Suno, you don't own this anymore. You can
yeah.
monetize it, but you don't own it.
I mean, it's a slippery slope, and I told somebody this. I was talking to Trap, my production
Mhm.
partner. Shout out to Trap. I was talking to him the other day, and I said, "This is what's going to happen. These songs are made off of learning models, right?
Yep,
So
that's right.
this is a culmination or a we'll call it a collaboration of everything that's been downloaded onto Suno
Mhm,
is now being used as part of its database to help produce
mhm,
the best possible outcome for you when you prompt Suno, right?
mhm.
I'm waiting for the day where there's two people with almost the same song. I say I want to write a song about how my girlfriend broke my heart and I found out that she was kicking it with my best friend. Okay, well that happens to a lot of people in a lot of places.
That's right.
So Suno's like, you know what? I got just a song for you. And then somebody somewhere else, 5 states away, does
Says
the same
same
thing,
thing.
gives the same prompt, and says, and I want it to be R&B and I wanted to just
Mhm,
have all the feels. And he said, okay, you know what? I got just the song for you because it's still pulling from all information that has
mhm.
been given.
That's right.
So now it's kind of like a Rubik's cube, right, or something like that. The likelihood of all those pieces coming together, we would hope, is not very likely, but
Mhm.
it is possible.
It is
Especially
possible.
when you think about they're saying people are making hundreds of songs a day in Suno. You can't tell me Suno's not spitting out the same thing to
Yes.
somebody. There's 3 people somewhere in the world right now who got the same song, and they swear that they wrote it from start to finish, and it's the best song they ever heard.
I made this. You didn't make any of it.
But it's gonna require for somebody to upload it, or 2 or 3 people to upload it for the rest of us to then hear it and figure out, hey, you know what? I've heard this song from another artist already.
Yeah.
Just like right now, there's 15 producers out here thinking that they have their own artist signed to them, their own AI artists, and all these AI artists are using the same vocal, same vocal format. So the female sounds the same. She sounds like
she
sounds like Brandy 8K Michelle. They all sound the same. Like, but they're giving them different names, whether it's Janae, Monet, Butte, OK, whatever you want to call it. And they all have the same vocal tone, the same vocal timbre. Yeah, it's the same thing.
The same thing, you know, and that's the crazy thing about it, because when you sit back and you look at it, right, they're telling you, okay, if you use music in Suno, you don't own what comes out, right? So you can put whatever in, but you don't own what comes out. We will give you the commercial use for it. And so now, even in that instance, let's say that we have songs that are very similar, or songs that are almost literally the same, right? So now if I made a song in the real world and you made a song in the real world, or let's say we made a song together in the real world, and now we got to go through a process of takedown notices, or we got to go through
cease and desist,
right?
We arguing over the rights, and then it becomes, well, who owns the copyright? Well, guess what? Neither one of us
want to do, because you know we use Suno.
That's right.
Now Suno owns it, right?
That's
so
right.
So what happens, kind of in that same thing, when you got ownership?
I guess that's so that they can so that people cannot sue each other. Maybe that's why. If you don't, we sue for our rights.
True.
But if you don't have any, what are you suing for?
Then you in Salt-N-Pepa.
So maybe Suno's like, you know what, to save ourselves the trouble of people trying to sue each other over works that they did on our platform, we just won't actually give them the rights to it.
They don't get no rights.
So then if they take that to an entertainment lawyer, or if they try to take it before an attorney, they'll just throw a case out and be like, you know what? Hey, guys, relax. None of you own anything, okay? keep collecting your little money on the side. You know what I'm saying? Keep paying for your ads and running it up yourself. But
you got to be careful, because if they can say one thing today and one thing tomorrow, they can say something else the next day.
Oh, right? For sure.
And now you're becoming a renter of the music versus an owner of the music.
Yeah.
And so you're using their platform. You don't own anything. You're renting because it's a license to do your things. They could come back and tell you, hey, you can't use that no more.
Right.
Hey, the song, matter of fact, this something similar happened with TrackLib, right? So you know what TrackLib is, right?
I'm familiar.
So y'all should know, y'all produce or whatever. But TrackLib is a platform where you can go, because sample clearance was a huge thing. Sampling by producers was a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so now TrackLib allows you to go and find samples, tweak them, chop them up, pitch them up and down, but it gives you the process of clearing these samples. So there was a situation where they had samples that they had got, because they go through that process, that they had to come back to say these samples no longer are within our clearance warehouse, or whatever you want to call it. So if you made songs with these,
we don't actually have the license
to clear these anymore.
Oops.
So what do you do with that? Right? So how do you now? You probably got songs that are sitting on your hard drive with those samples that are ready to go.
But you hope they're just sitting on your hard drive. You hope you haven't already sold one.
Because what if you did?
Because if you did, whoever you sold it to, now they're on the hook for clearing that sample again. And then they could sue you for the money to clear the sample.
Exactly.
Because when they got it from you, you told them that it was
That was
clear.
cleared. And then with the thing with TrackLib is that you paid money to clear it too.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
depending on your
Tier.
plan level, your tier,
Uh-huh.
right? So yeah. So that's the thing, man. It's like one, I guess, is be creative. I would say yourself, right? Because trust me, now they changing up terms. They changing up on y'all, and they're like, "You thought we was gonna," but it comes on the heels of the whole Warner thing, right? The whole because Warner was like, "No, we suing y'all. We getting y'all," and they came to some deal with Suno. Suno was they were like, "Okay, bet we'll let you still do it, but you got to change this."
Mm-hmm.
And if you change that, does Suno really own the copyright now, or is Warner going to feed into that and they got some
Right.
ownership of it now?
I mean, it's very
No.
possible.
Very possible.
It's very possible that Suno has now become like Spotify, where the labels own enough of a portion to basically get a kickback
Yes.
on the back end from
Yes.
whatever Spotify makes.
And I think that's exactly what Warner is doing with Suno. They're going to get a kickback off of everything.
And that's
in some way.
And that's why because these publishers are going after platforms like Suno because they're saying, "Hey, we have writers that are signed to us,
Mhm.
and they're putting or creating their songs through your program, but they're signed to us. So therefore, how can you own the rights to what they create when we're supposed to be the ones owning the rights to what they create?"
Well, they shouldn't have never used it.
Exactly.
Suno's like, hey, they came here and they put their stuff in here and they asked
Mhm.
us to create, melodies and drums and vocals and all that. And we wrote the song. Hey, and we ain't got no deal with you.
Right.
We got to deal with them because they're the one who signed up and paid their money.
They're paying the monthly
That's
fee
right.
or whatever it is.
And so they agreed to the terms of service.
That's right.
It ain't our fault they didn't run it past you.
That's right.
It's you need to take that up with them. But
That's
I'm gonna
right.
tell you what, whatever was outputted from our system, we own that. It's gonna be so crazy in this whole world because here's another thing that's not, and I think I saw it on because I used to use Reason. I don't really use Reason that much anymore.
Yeah, I used to use
But
Reason back.
I used to use Reason. So Reason just got purchased by Lander.
I think I did hear that.
Yeah.
I
They just got purchased by Lander, which Lander, of course, is an AI company. They do AI mastering, mixing,
sound engineering.
Yeah,
right.
sound engineering. They got plugins that do. They got some really dope plugins too. But they just purchased Reason. So now, what happens? What happens when you have a digital audio DAW, right? Digital audio workstation that has AI in it, built into it, integrated into that DAW, and you're using these AI tools to create the music, the output. What if they start putting in their terms of service and all that? Whatever you output using AI, you don't you don't own it. They literally could.
They could.
It's their software, their system.
Yeah.
That would be bananas.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to give you no ideas, but that would be bananas.
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, like you said, any of these things that you're paying for a subscription and agreeing to terms, you become a hostage to whatever it is.
right.
And I guess really, if you think about it at this juncture, what in the world are you using from a digital capacity that you are not agreeing to terms and paying for? Pretty much everything.
Everything.
Even the free version, you're agreeing to terms.
That's right.
So
if you sign up on anything,
pull out your ASR 10, get out your old Insonic, because that's the only way you can use something.
That's right. And I got friends who still use like older equipment so that they could be free. And I don't know if that's the reason, but if it ever was that situation, they could be free to say, "Hey, I get my own sounds in here."
Yeah, I saw the other day Henny, aka The Business, was producing. He was showing his setup, and he was not using a DAW.
I think I saw that. Yeah. He wasn't. Yeah,
He had no DAW.
No DAW.
So
Yeah.
so in essence, there was no terms of agreement for him
Well, depends on what
in
he's
that
using.
scenario
If he's using any type of software,
to get his sounds.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're using any type of software, so because the thing with like NPCs, you can make your own drums and stuff and then put it in the
Right.
NPC, and
Yeah.
but the NPC isn't giving you drums, right? Like I got all this equipment over here, and they got sound packs and
Mhm.
stuff in them,
Yeah.
that are generated by other people
Right. True.
that
You would
you're
literally
using.
have to be
That's
the
right.
originator of every sound
Every
that you
sound. That's
use
right.
in order to be like, I made this, or it had to be live
I had to be live.
to say, I made this. I agreed to no one's
Yeah.
terms and conditions. It was mixed and mastered on equipment, not by a person,
Yeah.
not by a program.
Because it could go to that length. It could go to a place we never thought it would ever go,
We don't own anything.
and we own nothing. We own nothing. No matter what sound it is, no matter what program it is, no matter what DAW it is, we don't own a single thing because we're using their system to generate the music and output that
Right.
music.
Yeah.
That's the potential future we may find ourselves in. So we got to be careful about that. There's a ton of people, man, I don't care about none of that, man. I'm using
They
whatever.
don't
I'm using
care.
whatever. They ain't gonna care. They ain't
They
gonna
don't
find out.
care.
I'm using it because I'm gonna
It's
put
the
my own
same
spin
people.
on it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna flip it.
Yeah. I think that so many people are just scared to say that they won't, that they are not embracing the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they feel pressure to say, well, it's coming, it's a thing, or it's here, and so I'm not gonna be somebody who get left behind. Well, who's to say you just can't run alongside? Why do you have to get left behind? No one told you to stop running.
Mm-hmm.
We just saying use your legs to run instead of riding on an electric scooter or whatever the case may be.
Terminator legs.
Yeah, think about that one friend you had when they had a bike and you ain't had no bike and you was still running alongside the bike. Like you still was getting where you had to get to. It wasn't as smooth as when they was doing it. They had a skateboard, you ain't had one. You running down the street next.
Right.
It's like everybody feels like they have to get on the board. They have to get on
Mm-hmm.
the bike. They have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to
You
do
don't
it.
have to.
It doesn't. This isn't wearing bell bottoms. Like, oh man, if you still wearing them, then you stuck in the past. No,
You got high waters.
yeah, like no, you can still make music the real way.
You can still, because we're doing it already, right?
Yeah.
So just continue.
No,
to do
they
what you
weren't
was
doing it already. That's the key.
Ah,
They didn't have the
they weren't.
talent to do it.
Mm.
They didn't have the patience. They didn't have the discipline. They didn't have the diligence. They didn't have the $29.99 a month.
So here's the thing. So if Janaya Monáe was made in Suno, your girl don't own Janaya Monáe.
Yeah, she doesn't own that.
She may own the
But
AI artist, but the output of what was generated, the vocals, the music, everything is owned by
yeah, I guess.
Suno.
But theoretically, if you even think about it, how even with the software that you use to create an AI artist, whose software was
Whose
that?
software was
Did
that?
you develop that software?
Nope.
So in theory, do you even own? You
Nope.
don't own that.
You didn't
That name, image, and likeness. You do not own. You could own the name and you could trademark the name, but the image itself, again, like I said, I've seen the same AI female
Mhm.
that they're using as this
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah.
I've seen basically 4 versions of the same woman.
That's
And
crazy.
that's everybody's AI artist. The
That's-
only difference is some are making her more heavy set.
Mhm.
Some are
They just
making her a little browner. It's like playing NFL 2K.
I was about to say.
It's like they playing 2K. Oh, I'm gonna put gloves.
Customize
I'm gonna put gloves
customize-
on mine. Like skit. I saw a producer recently. He out here got the AI artist doing whole. Hey
Customizing.
guys, I'm releasing my new music, and this song is about do, just like it's just having full conversation, like it's
Like
a
it's
real
artist.
person. And there's people in the comments that are like, oh yeah, do. They're talking back to it like they think, because people are literally creating pages for their AI.
Yes. Oh yeah.
likenesses. So,
Oh yeah, my man is the only person like, yeah, oh yeah,
and
yeah.
then some dude
Watch
in the
out.
comments like, yo,
Yo, watch it.
this is fire right here. You should let me get on the remix. Sir, that's not a
It's
person.
not a person.
That's not a person. And unless you intend to download yourself, I don't think you're gonna be collabing with them. You're gonna be
no
getting on the
remix.
second verse.
You're not getting on no other version, no remix.
Yeah,
because they ain't a real person.
yeah. I'm like, come on,
And look,
man.
hey, look, the real deal is you got to figure out how you come up with these names because if you using the Wu-Tang name generator, you may not even own
Right.
You may not even own the name.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, yeah. So
And let's
It's
keep
crazy.
let's keep it a buck. These are the same people that signing deals where they don't know that they don't have none of the credits. so they not trying to copyright or trademark these names anyway. They just out here pulling a name out the clear blue sky, giving it to the artist, and then saying, "This is my artist, and this is their name. My name is Curtis. Would you like to buy some of my delicious chocolates?" Like,
And they don't own nothing.
They don't own nothing.
You don't own nothing. Man, that's crazy. You own the computer that you made all this on.
Yeah, I
but
get
you don't
petty
own
right now and go trademark the name to their artist and send them
You
a
could.
cease and desist
You probably could.
because they don't know how
You probably
paperwork
could.
works.
You probably could.
I know I
I'm
could.
gonna copyright Janelle.
I'm a
Janelle Monáe.
Yep.
Trademark it.
trademark it and send you a cease and desist.
Take down
Get
notice
that.
right now. DMCA. Right.
Exactly.
Oh man. But that kind of leads into the next topic. Even though the next topic is not about music, what they were talking about was how it has become like music. And I watched this whole thing because you sent me a clip about the Earn Your Leisure episode with Ian Schwartzman.
Talking about Joe Budden.
Talking about the Joe Budden podcast and how they approach podcasting and why 90% of podcasters and podcasts are doing it wrong. So I actually sat and watched the whole thing. Put it on time and a half, did my work,
Right.
and listened to the whole thing. I was like, they dropped hella gems in there. A lot of different gems in there. So if y'all don't know, let me give you the context, right? So on Earn Your Leisure, I think it's the latest episode. They did a deep dive with Ian Schwartzman, who is Joe Budden's. He's a manager, industry manager, and Joe Budden's
Business partner. In this case.
yeah, with the Joe Budden Network. And I love the fact that he made it very clear. He was like, let me make it clear. Joe Budden owns the network. He's like, we don't have any venture capitalists. We don't have any angel investors. This is Joe Budden's network. 100%. And I was like, that's dope. Because a lot of people have been equating Charlemagne's deal that he got with iHeart. And they talked about it in this thing as well. So anyway, this is what he said, right? So they expose a hard truth about the modern creator economy. Most podcasters are building shows, not businesses, while many creators chase exclusive platform deals, ad-heavy monetization, and fast upfront checks. This model highlights a different path, one built on ownership, audience data, and direct-to-consumer revenue, which is how they built the Joe Budden Network.
Right.
That discussion, it broke down why relying on platforms and advertising caps long-term upside, and how video rights have quietly become the most valuable asset in podcasting. And while creators who don't understand their numbers are negotiating blind, this isn't about just podcasting, as I said before, because now they're equating it to like hip hop, like music.
It's in essence. It's in essence the copyright to how you will get your royalties.
Yeah. So Ian in this whole thing was like, if you really think about it, this is how hip hop was. Everybody just wants to get to the bag.
Yep.
Everybody just wants to be famous.
Yep.
Everybody just wants to, just let me just put it out there, not really have to do a lot of work. Let me get this real quick. And then he said, and it's just become this thing. And now it's the same with podcasters. He said you get so many people trying to do a podcast that just want to come in and make money really quick and get these ad dollars and revenues. And they're not really interested in building a brand, building a business, really, in this thing for the long term. He said, and those people are going to fail. Even people, because one of the guys, I don't really know their name.
On
Earn Your Leisure. Yeah.
It's fine.
One of the guys was one of the guys. Okay. I mean, I've watched several shows. I just don't know.
Yeah,
them
I've watched
like that.
Literally just clicked.
Right.
I know their faces, but
I know their faces, right? So, one of the guys, he was saying, well, but you got celebrities and all these other people starting podcasts. And Ian was like, hold on, let me tell you right now. He's like, there's a ton of celebrities out there and it's kind of, I think you and I had this conversation, and I think you made the comment that just because you're a celebrity, it doesn't necessarily equate that you're going to be successful in this
Right.
podcast space. And he said, I know many celebrities who got signed, and it is like getting signed to a label
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. If you get signed to a Earn Your Leisure or a Joe Budden Network or an iHeartRadio, or it's like
Black
you're
Effect.
Black. It's you're now getting signed to like a label, but as a podcaster,
Mm-hmm.
right? Still same type of, probably how hip hop was when they were signing artists, and that same type of contractual landscape is still taking place. But he was like, just because you famous don't. He said, I know many famous people that started podcasts and
Yeah,
they tanked.
He's like, we had that conversation.
We had that
and I
conversation.
said that verbatim.
That's right.
They assume that based on their namesake or whatever their following is and whatever else it is that they do, that when they do a podcast, it's going to be successful. But if you don't market in the proper way, then you are no different than the next. There are obviously always exceptions to that, because some people have fan bases that are truly fanatical about that individual, but that doesn't equate for everyone. And Joe Budden, he put in the work. Like, there was a point in time where there weren't many other podcasts at all that were actual, both audio and visual. So you could consume it in two ways for the Black community, for our culture, right? And so he built that fan base to where he could then monetize it outside of just the money he was making at a YouTube. And I know in that interview he talks about them going to Patreon or having a tier that's specific to Patreon. And sometimes people want to charge for things that have no value, right?
Yes.
But in his case, he had put in the work and built the value, and he had thousands of viewers already on the YouTube. So if you've got hundreds of thousands,
he sound like an old guy on the YouTube.
On the YouTube. If you've got that
on the YouTubes,
you use that same rule, the same one you use with advertising. I only need 1, 2, 3, 4% of what I'm seeing here to go to a paid tier, and then I'm making real money.
He said that. He said that that's why they never really looked at Spotify, which is why they ended up turning down the Spotify deal. Because they figured if they could get 800,000 listeners to go to their Patreon, not to Spotify, who's going to get residuals and money, if we can get them here, and get them to become a paid member on our Patreon. He said, we got different tiers for different things. So how do we get those people over here? And one of the guys was like, so how much y'all making a month? Ian was like, you seen the New York Times? $1 million a month. And they were like, yeah, $1 million a month.
But that's just like,
first of all, I was like, yo, that's
if you go
crazy.
way back, we had a conversation in this room where on an episode, I talked about platforms like Patreon and OnlyFans.
Yep.
OnlyFans is basically the same. The platform itself is the same infrastructure as Patreon in terms of you set your price, you can set your tiers, and you provide content on a monthly basis, subscription.
Yep.
And that's why there are so many millionaires on OnlyFans. It's the same pretense with Patreon. Now, most times on Patreon, you had to come from somewhere else. So if you had a following on Instagram, you can now have a paid tier on Patreon. If you had a following on YouTube, you can now have. Now, OnlyFans, you could just go to OnlyFans and just get butt booty ass naked and get you a following like that, and actually only advertise on OnlyFans.
I was trying to think of the name, Reverend. What did it say?
I was gonna say, but it's not just it's not just people
churches
getting butt naked. It's also churches. It's also comedians
Hey, congregation, make sure you come and be with us next week on our OnlyFans page.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
yo.
I mean, think about that. Think about a mega church. And if a mega church had an OnlyFans page and they only charge,
I'm sure Jamal Bryant does.
they charge.
Yeah.
Ooh, he may. If they charge $1 for the monthly subscription on the OnlyFans, they charge $1.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right. Y'all go in them comments. I don't care. Go in them comments.
Let's say you got 3 campuses, you got 800,000 members. And
check us out on OnlyFans.
And
I clicked the wrong button, Pastor.
So 10% be 8,000, and you don't even need that. You can have half of 10 is 5 is 40. Half of 40 is so at 2% of your membership, you could be making $20,000 a month off of having your church services on or on Patreon, OnlyFans, whatever.
Patreon, y'all go to because you may click the wrong button and you
end up in the wrong section.
Find yourself in the wrong.
Yeah, I'm afflicted, Pastor.
Pastor, Pastor, I saw some stuff, Pastor. That you know what I'm saying?
It was on the same site.
I need to pluck out my eyes, but both of my you led me somewhere. Like, yeah, nah. Yeah, but
led astray. I was run amok.
So Ian was talking about because one of the guys made a comment about something about in regards to you need to make a lot of money. He was like, hold up. First of all, he said we got to stop telling people that. We got to stop telling people that the only way to do this is by making millions of dollars. It's not. He said because $1,000 a month could change somebody's life.
Absolutely. 100%.
He said so. Figure out how to get 100 people.
That's right.
On your Patreon, Substack, because I like Substack, right? But one of those platforms you could paywall things or have paid tiers, or people can do those types of things.
Yep.
But you don't got to have 1 million followers.
Yeah, that's always been a lie.
Figure out how to get 100.
Yeah.
To pay you $10 a month. Right? Then figure how to get 1,000 to pay you $10 a month. 5,000, $10. Once you're
$10 a month is a lot, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Even if you
that's why I said $1.
No. I'm saying $10. But yeah, I mean,
that's a lot.
It is a lot.
10 times as much.
People like, man. But even
because you got to think $9.99 is what you're paying for Amazon, Apple, Spotify.
Shoot, that's what they pay.
And that gives you open, and you can experience everything that they have to offer. And well, if I'm giving them one singular type of content, should I be charging the equivalent to something that gives you?
Yeah, that's
just my.
You got to figure out
you
got to figure out the valuation of what
you
offer.
Yeah,
and what they're going to receive.
Yeah,
because if you only giving them $1 worth of then you should.
But black folks anyway. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Y'all gonna overcharge.
Y'all gonna overcharge anyway
because y'all trying to get rich quick. Like we're trying to get our 40 acres and a mule off of every single customer.
Because we ain't get it yet.
Yeah, that's so we're gonna be. I'm charging $35 a month for mine because nobody doing what I'm doing.
I'm the best in my city.
And then when I go to your page and you haven't posted anything in 5 months because nobody was coming.
And it's still $35.99.
And you trying to figure out why because they was hating on me. They was blocking my algorithm. They had me ghost paged, blocked, backdoor algorithm to me.
But if y'all had backdoor algorithm
it's crazy
to me, wow.
Wow.
I'm sure he'd say pause for that. But I mean, that's the thing. If y'all haven't, go watch it, right? I don't usually tell people to go watch other people's. But that one was a good episode because I'm sure a lot of things he was saying in there is applicable to any. He was like, people want to just do podcasting.
Any business structure.
And he was like, he said, we need to start teaching people about business.
Yeah.
And we've been saying that. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a business. You are a brand. Treat yourself as a business.
Yes. But also let me say this. Just because you have a good idea doesn't mean you're good at business. Please ensure that you surround yourself with the necessary resources and people to ensure that you're able to execute effectively. Just lots of people who can make amazing cookies, but they can't run a business to save their life.
Facts.
Customer service will be trash. The financials will be trash.
Look,
Surround yourself with the right people.
I always tell my wife, everybody want to be an entrepreneur, but everybody ain't built to be
At
an
all.
entrepreneur
At all.
at all.
Yeah. There's a
They-
certain aptitude. There's a certain character. There's so many things
It's so funny.
that go into that.
Yeah. It's so funny. People like, man, I can't wait till I get out of my job and I ain't got to work this 9 to 5 no more. And I could just do what I want to do and be an entrepreneur. Right? I ain't got to work all them hours.
You're going to work them hours and some.
more. You're going to work them hours twice.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
If
understand
you're
why.
lucky, only twice.
But people don't have the capacity to be an entrepreneur. So stop it. Some of you need to actually work at jobs.
Say that part out
You
loud.
need to work at
Some of you
jobs.
need to
You're
work
good
at
at a job.
Or if you have, that's why I
But
say,
not-
look, if you have an idea, you got to be humble enough and have the vision to surround yourself with a team. Maybe you are a great worker
Mhm.
and you want to be an entrepreneur. Maybe you need to attach yourself to someone with a great idea. Or maybe you're good at math,
Yeah.
but not good at something that, like, we got to work together, people, is what I'm saying. Because everybody can't be, entrepreneur has never meant, has
Yeah.
never been meant to be a singular. It's not like a numeric value
It's
of
not.
one.
It's not. And people want to, nah. But it was a very interesting episode.
It was a great,
Very interesting.
yeah, and this is what, and here's the other thing too, and I'm just gonna say this, hey, I'm gonna say it. When people are making money, when people have done the work, when they have figured it out, when they have experienced the highs and the lows, when they are confident that what they do is unique enough to ensure that they can continue to make money off of it. Listen to what I'm telling you. They will tell you how they did it. They will tell you when they did it. They will tell you why they do it. And they won't charge you a dime. When you see these things on these social media platforms where they're like, and I can show you how to do it if you follow my subscription, $14, $35, I give you to cut it out.
My wife and I were talking about that earlier.
Cut it out.
How to make 6 figures on Patreon.
I'll
how to make
show
6
you.
figures on Substack. But the way they show you how to make 6 figures is by the course, how to make 6 figures.
Yes. Buy my course.
Buy my course. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying a course, because I'm about to sell some courses. That's what I'm saying. I'm about to, right? I'm about to restart my leadership stuff, right? Yeah, if y'all know, your boy is 26 years as a leadershipologist. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sell some courses, but I know leadership though, right? I'm about to give y'all a bunch of courses for free. But some courses y'all you got to come, just like you see. Hey, come down here for 3 days to Atlanta. We're gonna do a 3-day leadership intensive course, and then you $2,500. Then you leave and go back and apply the practices and principles back in your organization. But make sure the people that are actually saying it are the people who actually can do it. Because Ian said that other thing. He was like, I want to give information for free. He was like, I know all this stuff, so why can't I just give it for free? And everybody always want to paywall everything. He's like,
see, I didn't even, I have not watched the whole episode.
Watch the
And
episode.
what I'm saying is directly aligning with,
yes, the episode is dope.
because that's just what it is. Like, if you're making money like that, like when somebody's telling you, hey, in order for you to make money, you need to pay me money. I don't know.
See, no.
I don't know.
No.
I'm sure that it works for lots of people.
I'm sure it works. Because in that
sure, obviously it does, because that's why people are doing it.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, because it worked for someone. So now,
that's right.
Because
in that episode he talks about DTC, direct to consumer, and so you haven't seen it, go watch it. Right? He talks about how direct to consumer is the way to go. Like, platforms are great. He said a lot of people are just what was the term he used? Walk-ins. He was making a correlation to like barbers. He said
Uh-huh.
barbers have like a book of business.
Yeah.
They got
They own
people,
clients. Yeah.
clientele that they know are coming in. He said a lot of people are waiting for, because sometimes you get walk-ins,
Yeah.
right? Hey, I just need a cut. Let me shake me
But
up real
that's
quick.
literally the same with music and streaming
Yes,
and independent
that's
artists
right.
putting their music up thinking that they're gonna get walk-ins.
Yeah, those are the
And then those
walk-ins.
walk-ins are then gonna turn into fans.
Yeah,
That's
it's not
just
gonna happen.
not.
Yeah, so he was equating it to like your Spotify and your ad sponsorships and all that. Those are your walk-ins,
Mm-hmm.
right? He said, but the people that rock with you, that's your book of business that you
Yes.
need to rely on and get them and over to your Patreon in
Yes.
that sense. So yeah, but speaking to about direct to consumer, I saw this about Russell's always doing something, right? I need to get him over here one day because I've seen him on other people's podcasts. I need to. Russell, what's good, bro?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tag you in this. What's good? Come over here to the Indie Unplugged. We got look,
Yeah. Tap in.
tap in because he released an album using a name your price model, right? So it was charge.
And he's done that before.
He's done it before, right? So
Yeah.
give me what you want. And who was it? There was I think it's a basketball player.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I don't really watch basketball.
Holy cow.
So I don't really.
So Kyrie
I don't
Irving
watch
is a
sports like,
Kyrie Irving played for Duke
but I heard it was
in
11,000.
college.
$11,000.
He is an NBA champion.
Wow.
He hit like the game-winning shot on a team with LeBron James in Cleveland.
I would see this dude.
Not only because I'm from Cleveland, of course I know that.
I could be sitting on them next in on an airplane. We'll never know.
That's insane.
I actually was on an airplane next to a NFL player. And
Now that's easier to not
It's
know
easy.
though. And the only reason I say that is because number one, they wear helmets,
They
and
do.
so some of them you don't see
They do.
their whole head.
Whole heads.
And then two, whole head is crazy. Pause. And then two, there's 53 players on an active roster.
Right.
So that's not the same as there's only
But if I did watch
15
sports,
players on a basketball team and only 5 on a
but-
court at one time.
yeah, I still don't know.
Yeah, that's wild.
So,
But yeah, Kyrie gave him 11K.
11K. Right now, granted, not everybody's going to give you 11K, right? But I just thought it was interesting because a lot of businesses kind of do some of that, right? Is I've heard of like hot dog stands or establishments saying, "Hey, here's the money basket. Here's your food. Pay what you want for it." And a lot of times, people will pay above what,
Oh yeah.
right? Because it's like on an honor system.
Yeah. And
People-
it becomes the sentiment, if you just enjoy, it's the same reason like people give tips, right?
Mhm.
I paid for the thing, but now I want to, show my appreciation for the service or
Right.
whatever the case may be. And it's one of those things. Hey, look, if you don't do a direct to consumer sales strategy, then you never give yourself the opportunity to have somebody pay $11,000. If you just say, "Hey, it's $9.99
on Apple Music and
that
that's
is what
just
it
where you
is,"
get it.
then you don't give yourself that opportunity. Now that works both ways because I know that LaRussell has talked about times where he does concerts where it's pay what you want to pay, but he sets a threshold. So for example, he might say pay what you want to pay, but
you
the
gotta pay
minimum
at least $5.
yeah, the minimum is $5. So you either pay me 5 or you can pay more than the 5. And most people are gonna pay, I would say on average, probably a few dollars more than the 5. So you win. But there are gonna be some people who only pay the 5.
I gotta get something.
Yeah.
Put all this time and energy, effort, and money into it. I gotta get a little bit of something. So
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want
$2.
people just
gotta-
walking in.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gotta pay at least $2 for
For
this whole thing.
Yeah, you did.
So-
And you're funding whatever it is. Like
true. That's right.
even if it's music, that music you had to at some point pay money for something. I don't care if it was just the
Mhm.
electricity bill at your house, where you where you recorded the music at.
But here's the thing, right? Because DTC, direct to consumer, takes work. It takes work.
It's
And-
more work.
It takes.
It's more work
It's more work.
than the opposite, which would be, for example, uploading to a
that's right.
DSP or signing to someone else and
right.
they do the work.
That's right.
You just hand in the product.
That's right.
In this scenario, when you're doing direct to consumer, more times than not, you're creating the entire infrastructure and
Everything.
experience that that person is having.
You are now doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
You are in charge of that experience. You're creating everything.
And even if you didn't create it yourself, you paid for it to be done. So now you need a return on that
Yeah.
investment.
And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people in the thing, the one with Ian, the don't know his name, Rashad.
Okay, let's go with
I
that.
think it's Rashad.
I have no
I
clue.
think it's Rashad. Y'all can go
The light
Rashad
skinned
and
dude.
Ian and Rashad. I think that's who the two dudes are.
This Rashad sounds light skin.
It's no, I think Rashad's the other guy, the bald head dude.
Oh, okay.
I think
I don't know his
y'all
name.
can tell us. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, because I wanted to make sure I said that because he was talking about podcasts. And he was like, look, a lot of podcasts trash. He said they're out there talking about nonsense and a lot of just stupid stuff. And he was like, I had that conversation with Jim, they were on the Jim Jones thing. And he was like, I told Jim Jones, he was like, I think hip hop is responsible for a lot of the demise of, black culture.
The culture,
Yeah. He was like, and Jim Jones was like, well, you great. But it was like, nah, it is, bro. Like he said, I think the same thing about podcasts. A lot of podcasts are lazy. They don't want to put in the time, the energy, the effort, the work to get things done, to do the things. They just want to get the quick bag. And he said, they don't be talking about nothing. It almost reminded me of the Kendrick thing. What they talking about?
exactly.
They talking about he's like, they
nothing.
talk about nothing. Nonsense all day. And Ian was like, you know what? He said, because that's what he said, you're gonna find whatever you're looking for. So if you're looking for nonsense, you're gonna find it.
Oh yeah.
But if you're looking for helpful things, you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
And he said, so people love nonsense. But the point was, it's the fact he said, people are lazy. They don't want to put the time, the energy, and the effort into doing what it takes, like a direct-to-consumer. And LaRussell's not the first to do DTC,
Right.
right? I mean, if you really think, there's probably others, but when I first heard of DTC, it was via Ryan Leslie.
Yes.
And how Ryan
absolutely.
just really capitalized off direct-to-consumer.
Yeah, he was definitely the first person I heard about doing it and being that successful with it.
That's right.
But if you think about it, he just was smart enough to leverage what he was already given, Ryan Leslie, because he was signed to a major label. He had the major label exposure. He utilized that to then to have a fan base, and then he basically took his fan base off the grid.
Yeah, he deplatformed them.
He deplatformed.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Now, in LaRussell's case, he literally built his from the ground up, literally from the ground up, doing concerts in his backyard. And from there, being able to now, do these pay what you can offerings, these direct, having his own website with the music there on the website, using things like, what's the website? I mentioned it even on that same show where I talked about Patreon.
I see the site.
It's
because J. Cole uses the site.
J. Cole uses it as well. But basically the site where you can upload your product and people can go to that site and pay either whatever they want or whatever you set. But they can generally pay more. Yeah, so I forgot what I don't know why.
I hate not knowing. I'm always like, okay.
Shout out to them.
What was that site?
Y'all know who we talking about.
What was that?
Like Tremaine Dupree say, y'all know what this is. This is that.
What is the site?
I can't think of the name of it right now.
I'm about to find out. Let me see. Nope. Ah, man, I cannot.
Yeah, him and J. Cole have been using that for quite a while.
Nope. Yeah, they have.
And it's another one of those things, like there's ones like Bandcamp, and
Bandcamp is a great one for artists who can't get on this platform or don't want to use this platform. But man, I can't remember the name because that's a great platform to
I can't remember the
to
name.
go to. I'm looking it up to try to figure out what it is because LaRussell uses it. So let me type in LaRussell.
It's like gone gain.
No, it's like a one word thing.
Gimme
even
that's it.
even.biz.
That's it. The site where you can set pricing, or
Yep,
people can pay more than the set price itself.
that's right. And you
Um,
can do that on Bandcamp. And the reason why I like Bandcamp because Bandcamp has been a staple in the indie realm for a
for a
long
very
time,
long
for a
time.
very long
Like,
time.
what is it? Is the other one still around? I think it was called Reverb
Reverb Nation,
Nation.
yeah, they still
Bandcamp and Reverb Nation. I remember, like, before there was a Spotify and before there was all these streaming
Reverb Nation.
platforms, those were the places you
Yeah.
really only that was really your only other option to places to put your music other than YouTube,
Mhm.
that you could literally be in control of what you upload.
That's right. Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
actually had an artist who had music. Probably the music is probably still on Reverb Nation.
yeah. My album is still on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I think maybe I took it down
Woo.
because I was gonna re-release it, so I ended up taking it down off of all DSPs and everything.
Gotcha.
So I may re-release it this year. I got a couple R&B things
Yeah, you should do that.
that I got in the bag. One that doesn't have a key. Remember?
Oh yeah.
It does,
Yeah.
but it does though.
Holy cow.
But it
It's a
does.
vibe though.
It's a
No
vibe
doubt.
though. Y'all watch out for it. Um, but so in that same vein, right? We were talking about Ian. He was talking about Spotify, iHeart, even talking about why they didn't do some of the maneuvers that they did. Why, like for instance, Charlemagne, iHeart's deal. Charlemagne really didn't broker the deal with Netflix. It was iHeart and you know Netflix Netflix that did it.
Mhm.
Um, and a lot of times that because they gave them like a package deal. You get all of these
Mhm.
as a
Right.
so now there is a war whether we see it or not. There is a war that's happening for podcasts, for attention, for media. Because you heard Spotify just lowered the bar for video podcasters and how much they can actually get. Right. So they have a monetization threshold, kind of like
Right.
YouTube had one. They still got one where you got to get 1,000 subscribers. You
Mhm.
got to get however many watch hours.
Right.
Well, they lowered theirs too. All right. So you had to have at least 12 of something, but now you only got to have 3,
Mm.
right? You had to reach a certain amount. Now you only got to have very little, right? I don't have the numbers.
So
Um,
Spotify did this, you say?
Spotify,
Okay, so they're
they
trying to get entice more people
that's right.
to.
Because the longer you can get somebody on your platform using their platform and not the competitions,
Mhm.
that generates more income. There's more ad dollars to say we got this many people that are dedicated to our platform, this many listeners, this many podcasts, etc. And so these people are at war, whether it's Netflix, because Netflix is getting into the podcast business, which is so crazy because who watches podcasts on Netflix? Like,
But that's the thing though. So to me, this is multi-layered,
mhm,
because to me, what a podcast was is not what a podcast is.
is
A
that's right.
podcast used to be an audio offering,
Mhm,
right? That you could listen to, primarily was your goal, and you received your entertainment through that information.
mhm.
But now
That's why
it
you call them.
has
That's why you call them vodcasts now.
now they're calling them vodcasts,
Yeah,
because the visual is as equally important as the audio.
that's right.
Most times when you tell someone you have a
Yo,
podcast, they expect that
video component,
there is a video component. That is the
brother.
expectation. It is no longer considered a podcast if it
Mhm,
is audio only.
brother. Go watch that episode because Ian and them talked about that. They said a lot of the contracts are going to be written today because they know video is so important as a vodcast, right? That you're going to start seeing contracts that say we want your podcast and we want also the video rights too,
Yes.
not just the podcast audio that you can put on Spotify,
Yeah.
Apple Music. We
Anywhere.
want the video
Yes.
as well. So now we can monetize the video portion as well as the audio. So now we got different platforms we can use, right? So that's why iHeart got this whole deal with Charlemagne. At Netflix is getting into the podcast thing, but well, from a vodcast perspective.
Mhm.
And so you got all these companies who are going, oh, all these different things are happening. How can we get into the game? And then how can we ensure that we are getting the populace of people to be on our platform
Yeah.
versus going to all these other
And I'm gonna
platforms.
tell you, I'm hey, I'm gonna give you my perspective, which is a fairly broad one, not to toot my own, but it's a broad perspective, right? And how we always talk about, things originate in our culture, and then people come and they
Mhm.
take them,
That's right.
yada yada yada. I know well, we've always had, like, Howard Stern's been around since, I don't know, 1803, and I don't think that was considered to be a podcast. It was
I thought it
it
was.
was a televised
It was
radio
shock. It was
show.
shock radio.
Yeah, but it
That's what
was
it was.
televised radio,
Right.
right? But that's what it was, right? As far back as a year ago, Revolt
Mm-hmm.
had started signing podcasters
Yep.
to Revolt, and they aren't only putting the podcast on Revolt. Revolt's literally utilizing itself as a DSP.
That's right.
And so
That's right.
you record your episodes, both, the audio and video, you're responsible for sending it to Revolt.
Mhm.
And Revolt uploads it to YouTube, Spotify,
That's right.
Apple Music, wherever. Why? So then that they can track the statistics and the analytics that go along with it. They become the primary.
They are a label. They are functioning like a label.
And so now that's in essence what Netflix is doing. Netflix is like, wait,
exactly.
they doing what?
Exactly. Netflix.
And so I don't know if Revolt was first. I doubt it, but
Netflix is like
over a year ago, that was the first time I heard of that. And I thought it was weird at first because they're literally not asking these people. Now, they curated which podcasts they wanted on their network, right? But they're not asking for you to do specific content. They want you to do what you're doing.
What you're doing.
Right? They're not asking you to do anything other than turn in the episodes, and we gonna upload them.
That's right.
And now this is in essence a cherry pick version of what Netflix is doing.
It is a Netflix original, right? So it, or whatever, how are they going to term it? Term that, and you can only get it on their platform.
So I wonder about that
anywhere
though.
else.
I wonder about that
Exclusivity.
And the reason I say that is because you know that the Breakfast Club is going to be, their episodes are going to be seen on Netflix. It's already advertised. So have they agreed to remove their content from YouTube?
And I'm sure that somewhere because Netflix is in a battle with YouTube for viewership.
Yes.
I'm sure that Netflix in there somewhere is going to say something. So I don't know what it looks like about that content not being on
that's interesting.
On YouTube.
So now you will only be able to see their episodes on Netflix. I wonder if they'll take down the old stuff. I mean, theoretically, YouTube doesn't have any ownership of it. It's an open platform that anybody can put stuff up or down.
That's right. So somebody can go like, we downloaded, we uploaded.
I wonder if Netflix will go and do like how they do old shows. They'll just go and take all of the content and move it over to Netflix.
Yeah.
That way, if you want to go see all three of y'all, put some respect on my name.
That's right.
Or Drake, if you want to go see any of those crazy viral moments that happen on the video version of the Breakfast Club, I wonder if
I'm sure
Netflix
that's going to be
will
on
bring
Netflix.
all that stuff over.
Well, I'm sure like Reels and ads and promotion things, they're going to still do on like Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, but you got to go to Netflix
to actually watch it.
Yeah. You got to go to Netflix.
That's going to be
You got to go to Spotify because Spotify actually has a podcast where you can actually watch the video. And I only know that because I went to go watch, of course, you know I'm a Boys and Men fan. Sean Stockman got his own. And when you go to their page, he has video on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, how do you get your video on? Because right now, the Indie Unplugged only has the audio. How do you get your video on Spotify? I'm like, how you do that? I want to do that. How you do that? I
I
want to
wonder
know.
if you actually have to do a deal with
I
Spotify.
don't know, but he got video up
Because
there.
I bet what is it, Joe Rogan? I bet
Mhm.
his video is on
Yeah,
Spotify also.
because Joe Rogan's was removed from wherever the platform he was to now being on. I think it's only on Spotify or wherever it is now.
Mhm.
Wherever you listen to or watch Joe Rogan is where it is exclusively now. But and you see clips everywhere.
Right.
But if you want to
But
watch
if
the
you wanna watch the
episode,
episode,
you got
then that's the same pretense of a Patreon.
yeah.
You can see clips on maybe the YouTube,
Hmm.
but in that the YouTube has a link
That's
to the
exact.
Patreon to take you
That's
to
right.
see that and additional
That's
content
right.
that's not available anywhere else.
Not,
It's the same pretense as
that's
OnlyFans.
right.
Keep
That's
going back
only
to that, but it's true.
fans, right?
There
Only
are
fans.
there are a lot of people out there making money and they
That's right.
keeping all their clothes
Keeping all their clothes on.
on OnlyFans.
So the last thing that I want to get into, and I saw, it's because we talked about it before, and it's because most people don't know,
Okay.
is that the Copyright Royalty Board has officially launched proceedings to determine streaming royalty rates for songwriters and publishers for 2028 to 2032. These decisions will directly impact how much creators are paid by all of these DSPs for the next 5 years. Historically, these rate setting battles pit songwriters and independent publishers against DSPs and big tech with massive financial consequences. While the hearings feel distant and technical, the outcomes quietly shape whether music creation is economically sustainable or a race to the bottom. And of course, if y'all don't know, the Copyright Royalty Board sets the streaming rate. They set these. Now, that doesn't mean that's what DSPs got to pay you, but
Right.
they set these rates for songwriters and publishers for a 5 year period. They just raised it, but they're about to go through a process again
Yes.
where they're going to start to set the rates. Now, they have been sending out emails. I don't know if y'all been on these emails
I
or
hadn't seen any
I got to
emails.
I've been getting emails about, hey, if you want to be a part of the conversation, or if you need to vote or petition, because you can petition,
Right.
go to your local congressman or your local AIMP or or whoever you need to go
Yeah.
to help petition if you want songwriters and publishers to get more bread for what we do, right? In case y'all don't know, there is a three judge board that decides what those rates are. Go look up Copyright Royalty Board. It's we don't set the rates, right? Independent music publishers, labels don't set it, DSPs don't set it. It is a three-judge panel that sets these. There are hearings, there are petitions, people come in and make their case on why we should pay you more or why we should pay you less.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this in like on in action.
Like I've seen excerpts of the panel discussion or the proceedings. It's almost
Mhm.
like a C-SPAN type thing you gotta watch in order to see it,
Mm.
to see how they break it down by what percent of what, and it actually is a variable rate that's based on what's paid like to in advertising dollars to radio stations or to streaming platforms, and then it's an average equation based on
Crazy.
that.
It's
But the
crazy
crazy
work.
thing is you would think that, you know, when you hear that Spotify pays 0.003, you would think
Mhm.
that, oh, okay, well, they must only be getting like a penny or something per stream, and in actuality it's like
Exactly,
$2.35.
way more than that.
It's
Yes,
like $2.35, but they're only paying out point zero zero
that's
three,
right.
a fraction of, literally a fraction of what they're
Mhm.
actually receiving, which tells you what that profit margin looks like
Mhm.
to an insane extent.
Yeah, so
And
I
then they had the audacity to tell you things like, if your song doesn't calculate 1,000 streams in a calendar year, that you don't get
you don't
paid
get
out
paid nothing.
anything. Your whatever you would have, let's say you only generated 800 streams,
Mhm.
but that 800 streams total, let's just say 6 cent. They'll take your 6 cent and add it to the pile of what they're gonna pay
Mhm.
everybody else. It's not like they hold it and wait for you to accumulate the rest. No, when the calendar year ends, it goes into the
Yeah, that's
pot
crazy.
of what pays out to everybody else.
Yeah, that's it's crazy because we rely so much on external systems to
Yes.
do a lot of the things that we could be doing on our own. Like
Yes.
when I really, once again, 2017, right? When I released that album in 2017, true, I put it on all the DSPs, but there was a whole bunch of other stuff that I did. Like I actually went and contacted terrestrial radio stations. I
Mhm.
told you I went to this company called Yangaroo
Mhm.
and I paid whatever my little money, $250, whatever how much I had to pay to send it to radio stations of a classification that I
Right.
chose from. Did it get played on some radio stations? According to the data, it did. All I can go off of data because I'm not in those
Right.
markets to be able to hear.
Yeah.
According to the data that they provided back, it played on some radios. I contacted every single internet radio station I could find. Did they play it? According to the data. I sent it to every single DJ record pool that I could find. Did they play it? According to the data, they
Right.
did, right? Because I could see it. They had comments. Yo, hey, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna spin this. Okay, here's the report. Right? Tampa Mystic, who lives here, it played on hers. I did an interview with her. I
Mm.
came down here, had one of my homies come. He shot BTS of the whole interview. She played the track, right? We had a conversation about it. I put that up on as a promotional thing.
Yeah.
I'm just
You
saying,
did the work
I did the work, ladies and gentlemen. I tried
that people don't want to do.
every engineering session that I went to with my guy back in St. Louis, I videotaped. Uh, that's old. That's old language. That's old
They
language,
said you
right?
did what?
That's old
Why'd you put tape on it?
old
You
medieval
trying to hold it
language.
together?
Ho there, audio sound sculptor, right? So, but I shot BTS of the whole thing, and I promoted it.
Yeah.
Bandcamp. It was on Band. Promoted the heck out of this album. Did a live listening party. Promoted the. I mean, did way more than y'all. Do work.
Instead of just putting up an Instagram post,
Do
go check out my
work.
album. It's finally out. Go check it out. Hope
Yeah,
you like it.
and that's the only time you hear about it. I was constantly promoting this thing all the time. I'm still promoting. If you go to my Instagram right now, not We Create Music TV, mine, I am B Vaughn. The 3 songs are pinned right at the top. Back from 2017. I'm still telling people, hey, go listen to this.
Yeah. You promoting it right now.
Yeah, I'm promoting it right now. Still.
Yeah. You got to do it.
You got to do it because here's the deal. We are not in charge. We don't control streaming rates. We don't control DSPs. We don't control labels. We don't control any of that. And I'm all about controlling what I can control.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to participate because that is there still, right?
Yes.
That's just like if I don't put the podcast on YouTube, and that's one of the largest audience that exists
Right.
out there. Like
Yeah.
that'd
The
be absolutely crazy to not
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
right? But once again, we don't set these. But if you want to be involved, I'm sure you can go look up
Mhm.
Copyright Royalty Board. I'm
Yes.
sure they got a place where you can go sign up, or whoever you can go and collect with, whether it's Music Cares or your local, songwriters or publishing community or group that you could go and petition for more royalty and publishing
Yeah.
because
Get those percentages
they're
up.
gonna set that rate. But anyway, man, that's all I want to talk about. A lot, but a lot.
It's
We
good stuff.
we was
Like,
gone for.
we took them to school today.
We took y'all to school. Look, today, brother. We can take you to school every day. Every time we do this, y'all gonna go to
Yes.
school. Y'all gonna learn. What Kevin Hart say?
You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. But man, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate it, man. It's good seeing you, my brother. It's been
Yes,
too
sir.
while. Been too long. I don't even want to say
Happy
too
New
while.
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
You know?
let's get it. It's gonna be an amazing year.
Yeah. Oh.
Because we said so.
Ooh, it's about to be a crazy year. But anyway, y'all, thanks for being here. Make sure y'all check us out. Sign up on our Substack, right? You can go there now. Or you can join our membership on YouTube right now, right? Watch the video. It gives you the 3 tiers, right? $2.99 is the lowest. And you get access to a whole bunch of stuff that other people can't watch unless you a member. So,
Be
but
a
anyway,
member.
be a member because we got a lot of stuff coming. Peace.
Peace.